And in this video we'll be taking a look at two different 3M kits. Both you can find at Walmart or Amazon. This first kit contains a tape, the sponge itself, which you're going to be using for your sandpaper, two type of compounds. One is for the scratches, which you're going to be doing with the sandpaper. The other one's just the finishing wax and a protectant. And we also have instructions and the sandpaper itself. We got 1,000 grit, 3,000 grit, and 5,000 grit. Now this other kit, it's very similar to the first kit, but this one actually has a sponge with a drill bit, so you could actually attach it to your drill. And this one only has the first compound, which is just the one for the scratches, no wax. Instructions. So this second kit could be more for a rougher headlight, because this one actually has the drill bit attachment, so you could just use it with a drill, and like I'm showing you here. And then we have this type of sandpaper, which is the finest one the kit will include. And inside we also have two other different types of sandpaper. This brown one, which is for the first step basically, this white one, which is for the second step, and that first gray one is for the last step. And then we have the polishing sponge, which is identical to the one in the first kit. Okay, so what you want to start off by doing is cleaning the area around the lens and the lens itself, just to make sure everything's clean, so when you tape it up, tape actually sticks to the car. Okay, so our first step is just to prepare the lens we're going to be working on. So we just want to tape around the whole lens, make sure the paint is covered so we don't go past the lens and damage the paint. And I found it easier to just open up the hood, so there's a section of the lens you don't actually have to tape around. Okay, so I decided to use the one for the hand and not the drill bit one. So just attach your 1,000 grit sandpaper to it, add water to the sandpaper, add water to your lens, just start going in circles. Just work around the lens until you see that the lens has like a little bit of a haze to it. Yes, you're scratching your lens, but you're basically taking the top layer off the lens. But that's what you have your compounds for, to protect it at the end so nothing happens to it. So just work around the lens. Alright, so once you feel like you've completed that first sanding, just grab a microfiber towel, clean the lens. Yes, it's gonna be hazy, but don't be scared, you'll get there. So just make sure you clean the lens completely. Just try to clean as much as you can of whatever was left of that first sanding. Okay, now you want to grab your next sandpaper, which is the 3,000 grit. So just make sure the lens is clean again. And again, just add water to the sandpaper, add water to the lens, and continue to clean the lens. So just make sure it's on there real good. Just add water to the sandpaper and water to the lens, and just continue to clean. Same stuff, just work around the lens in circles, left to right, up and down, until you know you're done to that point which you remove the previous scratches that the 1,000 grit left on the lens. Okay, so I'm done with that 3,000 grit sandpaper. So again, just clean everything up. And as we could see, the haze on the headlight is starting to go away. Yes, it's still not to that perfect point, but at least it's not so hazy anymore. So our final step of the sanding is to grab the 5,000 grit sandpaper, just attach it to your little sponge again, and once again add water to the sandpaper, add water to the lens, and just start sanding. Same thing, same 3 steps on all 3 different sandpapers. Just work your way from the lowest number to the highest number of sandpaper grit, and same thing, just in circles, make sure you're removing every single little scratch that the 3000 grit sandpaper left on the lens. Just work every little inch of that headlight. Alright, so we made it to the last step. So just remove your sandpaper, grab the little sponge, flip it over, grab the one that says scratch remover, not the wax. You want to use the scratch remover first. So just tear that apart and just add it to the sponge, and you could add some to the lens also. So just make sure you add it to the sponge and rub it in the sponge so every little pore of the sponge is covered. Okay, so we got our sponge fully covered with the compound. So now we have to add a little bit to the lens itself. And before you start polishing the lens, just grab your sponge and just rub all the compound onto the lens. So just make sure you get all the compound on the lens, and then just start going in circular motions and polishing the lens. Just polish the whole lens again, left to right, up and down, just circular motions like if you were sanding it. So just keep doing that until you're fully satisfied with the polish. Okay, so just finish polishing and just get ready for the next step. Just clean up your lens, make sure it's really clean, and just get ready to apply the wax onto the lens. Okay, so we skipped on to the last step now. So we're just gonna grab our wax, just open it up, and then get the lens ready again. So you could either use some microfiber towel or a little sponge, whatever you just have, you know, it's fine. And then so just add some onto the sponge, add some onto the lens, rub everything in together, and just start polishing again to close up all the pores that opened up while sanding it up. So you make sure that wax is going to cover your lens and protect it from the UV rays. Okay, so once you're done, just again grab a microfiber towel and just clean up the lens real good, because you're basically done now. So we'll see the results and the difference right now. Okay, so here's our final result. This is the lens we were working on. As we can see, pretty clean lens, looks almost brand new. And we could see a little bit of a yellowish color to this one, a little bit of a haze. So do I recommend this kit? Yes, it's a pretty good kit for 15 bucks. So thanks again guys, like, subscribe, and we'll see what we can do for the next video.